Help me reach 5,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. She came in past midnight, heels in one hand, phone in the other. The kitchen clock ticked like it wanted a race. I'd left dinner covered with foil. Cold steak doesn't bother me. Silence does. Lot of work, she announced, dropping her bag by the chair. Quarter end. Everyone slammed. I watched her pour water, steady, no rush, like I was part of the furniture. Quarter end on a Tuesday? It happens. She didn't look up. Why are you still up? So I could ask once instead of twice. Not a speech. Just to check in. She sipped, eyes on the sink window. Her phone face down on the counter, the new habit. You done? For now. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have tightened the bolts a week earlier. But I gave it one night. One. I cleared the plates. She walked past with a good night that didn't pause for air. Bedroom door shut. I stood by the dishwasher and decided, tomorrow, new rules. Wednesday started with the coffee machine stuttering like an old truck. I fixed the filter, left her a mug anyway, and set my phone on the table. When she came down, hair up, blazer sharp, she moved like a meeting had already started without me. Tonight, I began, I'm at the shop late. Inventory count. That your way of what? Matching me. She drummed a nail on the mug. It's my way of not waiting around for a question mark. From now on, if you're working late, text by 7. If I don't hear anything, I eat, I sleep, and the house isn't a lobby. She smiled at the word. A lobby. Chairs, lights, a guy at a desk. That was me. Don't be dramatic. I'm being boring. Text at 7. Clear. You can't dictate my schedule. I'm not dictating yours. I'm protecting mine. I slid her phone forward with a fingertip. Put it in the calendar we both see. You don't trust me? I shrugged. I respect my time. She exhaled through her nose. We're not in college. Sometimes things go long. Then there's no issue typing 6 words. I'll try, she said, too casual. No. Do or don't. If you don't, I act like you chose not to. Are you keeping score now? I'm setting hours. She adjusted her blazer sleeve. You good? I'm clear. She grabbed her bag and moved toward the door. I added, I'm updating our shared expenses. Groceries and utilities, half each from now on. Autopay from separate accounts. I already set mine. She stopped. Since when? Since this morning. You could have asked me. I'm telling you. Her smile thinned. You know, this controlling thing? Not a good look. Then do what works for your look. 7 o'clock text is free. She opened the door. I'll be late. She tossed over her shoulder. Again, we've got a client in town. 7. I replied. She left without answering. I finished my coffee, pulled on a jacket, and headed to work thinking, good, now it's on paper. At the shop, I ran the inventory with Dan, my foreman. Blue-collar mouth, soft heart, 3 jokes he recycles shamelessly. You look like a guy who slept in a chair, he said, scanning a crate. I slept in reality. Everything okay at home? Just running maintenance. He nodded. Tighten what rattles. That's the rule. By 6:45, no message. At 7:10, nothing. At 8:30, she posted a photo to the shared album from the office. Team in a conference room, pizza boxes, some guy making a face behind her. At 9, my phone buzzed. Running late. Don't wait up. I didn't reply. I finished inventory, locked up, grabbed a burger on the way, and slept like a man who had made his own plan. At 12:42 a.m., the garage door hummed and stopped. I heard her keys, then her voice low on the phone, friendly, a giggle cut short when she saw the lamp on in the hallway. She came in with that same lot of work line ready. I didn't give her a stage. Calendar next time, I told her. Text by 7, or it's your own show. I texted. 9 isn't 7. She rolled her eyes. You're impossible. I'm predictable. There's a difference. She brushed past. The phone stayed face down on the nightstand. New habit. Same message. I added a mental note, addressed that in daylight. Saturday, we had a neighborhood get-together at Mike and Tessa's place. Backyard, paper plates, kids hitting a basketball until someone cried. I wasn't thrilled to go, but I don't hide. We arrived together. She pecked my cheek at the driveway like it was part of the RSVP. Inside, she switched on her social voice. I said hello to people who've borrowed my ladder. Tessa poured iced tea and stage whispered, You okay? You look focused. I'm fine, I said. Just reorganizing the calendar at home. That time of year. She chuckled, not sure what it meant. On the patio, Jenna, my wife's friend from Pilates, locked eyes on me, then on my wife, then back on me. She's the type who fishes for currents and calls it checking in. You been busy? Jenna asked my wife, raising an eyebrow. Work's a beast, my wife answered, too bright. Every night. Jenna's tone said nothing and everything. Quarter end, my wife repeated. You know how it goes. Jenna glanced at me. Do you? I do, I said. I run a business too. We also use calendars. Jenna laughed like she wasn't sure if it was a joke. Mike threw meat on the grill and shouted across. Your team, any good this year? It was his way of moving past awkward. They'll be fine, I said. They study film, show up on time. Wild concept. Across the yard, my wife rolled her eyes at Jenna. I caught it. It was small, but it was the first pebble. Later, at the table, talk drifted to weekend plans. Someone asked when we were taking our anniversary trip. She answered before I could. We might push it, she said. He's got inventory or something. I looked at her. No, we're pushing it because you've reserved every evening for team building. A couple of heads turned. Tessa blinked. Jenna perked. My wife smiled tight. Don't make it weird. You already did, I replied. Mike cleared his throat. Another round of corn? I stood, set down my plate, and spoke so only the table heard. From now on, if you want to go somewhere without me, you go. But don't use my schedule to cover it. That ends here. She tilted her head. What's that supposed to mean? It means this party gets my goodbye. Catch a ride home. I won't sit through jokes at my expense. Not from you. Not from your fan club. You're leaving? Her voice went a notch higher. I am. Jenna gave a small wow. Tessa touched my sleeve like a traffic cop. You can't be serious, my wife said, half laughing. I'm always serious when it's boring. I looked at Mike. Thanks for the invite. Food was good. Mike nodded, eyes wide like he'd just seen a raccoon salute. I walked out, got in my truck, and drove home. No slamming, no speech. A simple exit. That was the first public boundary. If she wanted an audience, now she had one. She came home an hour later. I was on the couch with a game on mute. She hovered. That was childish, she began. It was adult, I answered. I left an environment that didn't respect me. Any questions? You embarrassed me. No. You did that when you threw me under the bus in front of people who buy sugar from the same store. You're overreacting. That word is a lazy broom. Doesn't clean anything. She folded her arms. So what now? Same as this morning. 7 o'clock rule. Public jokes about me. We don't share the room. And stop using my schedule as a prop. She sneered. You think you're so stoic. I don't think about it. I live here. She went to bed without another word. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed. Jenna. Everything okay? I didn't answer. I turned off the TV and started a load of laundry. Practical beats dramatic. Every time. The next morning, she tried the soft turn. Pancakes on the table. A note. Sorry about last night. Stress, not you. I'll be better. She hovered while I ate. How's work? She asked. Steady. I looked at the calendar. I can do better. That's good. She put a hand on my shoulder. We could plan something low-key. Just us. I already told Dan I'd take an extra shift this week. We're behind on a project. So work wins. No. Respect wins. She smiled with the mouth, not the eyes. I'll text at 7, she said, like it cost nothing. Do it. I cleared my plate and took my coffee to the garage. Soft moves are still moves. I wasn't giving away ground because someone made breakfast. By Thursday, Dan and I were sorting a shipment when he paused. Don't take this wrong, he said. But I saw someone last night at the downtown bar that looked a lot like your wife. Could have been her cousin. Could have been lighting. She was with a guy in a suit, lot of smiling. I tightened a strap. Thanks. I'm not handling this with a baseball bat. He raised his palms. Wouldn't expect you to. Just thought you'd rather hear it from me than from a mouth that loves drama. Appreciate it. At 5 that day, a message, client dinner went long. Don't wait. I replied. 7 o'clock rule wasn't a suggestion. No answer. At 9, the Ride app pinged my email. An automatic receipt we still had linked from vacation. 2 trips, both near the same downtown block Dan had mentioned. When she came in after 11, she had the smell of someone else's music on her, the kind of buzz people bring from a bar you weren't invited to. You look tired, she said, tossing her shoes by the door. I look like a man who ate at a reasonable hour. She laughed. You and this clock. Time isn't romantic. That's why it works. She poured wine, lifted it toward me. Truce. Not drinking tonight. She leaned on the counter. Are you punishing me? I don't do punishments. I do outcomes. That's cute. I tapped the envelope from the Ride app. Your automatic receipts still hit our old email. You forgot to unlink. If you're going to be out, just say you're out. I'm not your parent. Her eyes hardened fast. Don't monitor me. I'm not. It came to me. Fix your account. I don't have to explain where I am every minute. I never asked for that. I asked for 7 o'clock. She clinked the glass onto the counter. You're impossible to please. Good news for me, I said. I'm not in the pleasing business. I'm in the respect business. She laughed without humor. You think in slogans now. I think in boundaries. Fine, she said, grabbing a throw blanket and heading for the couch. I'm watching a show. In the morning, I added, we'll split the recurring bills. I already moved the utilities. You'll see your half. She didn't look at me. Do what you want. I am. I slept sound. The next day, I called a locksmith to rekey the back door and the garage entry. That was for me, not at her. We have 2 adults in a house. Adults manage access. I texted her both new codes with a simple line. Updated for security. Tell me if you need help. At noon, she sent a selfie from the office break room. Happy. No context, just a face that wanted points. Be safe, I responded. That was the end of ceremony. Friday, Dan and I finished early. I picked up ribs from the corner diner and carried them home like a man who knows what he'll eat. 7 came and passed. No text. I ate, washed dishes, took a quick shower. When I came out, I saw her car in the drive. She was in the bedroom mirror, fixing her hair, smiling at herself. Heading back out, she said casual. Calendar. Didn't know you were my manager. I leaned against the dresser. I'm not. I'm the person you married. That used to mean something steady. She adjusted an earring. Are we doing this now? Probably should have done it sooner. She turned, evaluating my face like a purchase. What do you want from me? Clarity. I work. I have friends. You have ribs. Everyone wins. That's not clarity. That's a dodge. She put on her jacket. I'll be late. Of course. She left at 8. At midnight, the garage door. She came in laughing at a text, thumb moving fast. I was awake, light on. She stopped in the doorway, hair a little messy, the glow of someone who got applause. You're up again, she said. Yep. This is getting old. It is. I walked over, reached a hand to her shoulder like a husband does when he's choosing peace. That's when she gave me the line that put concrete on my decision. Don't bother, she said, brushing my hand off like lint. I already got mine somewhere else. I let the words land. No echo, no repeat. Just facts. I picked up her suitcase from the closet, put it on the bed, opened drawers, folded what was hers. No shaking, no stomping. The quiet kind of final. What are you doing? She asked, a nervous chuckle trailing. Then live someplace else, I answered, zipping the suitcase. I'm done. You're throwing me out? You're serious? Very. She moved to block me. You're reading me wrong. It was a joke. You always miss jokes. That wasn't a joke, I said, lifting the case upright. Jokes don't explain receipts. You're blowing this up. I'm closing it down. I called her a ride. Set the pickup to the front. Walked the suitcase to the door and put it on the mat. Grabbed the second case, same action. She followed, alternating between outrage and disbelief. You can't just. I'm not arguing, I cut in. Your words are enough. People argue. They talk. They figure it out. People who respect each other do. You passed that exit 3 nights ago. The car pulled up. The driver looked straight ahead like he'd delivered this scene before. She hovered on the threshold. You'll regret this, she tried. I don't regret clean floors. You're cruel. I'm clear. She tried one last time, that smirking shrug. You misunderstood what I meant. No, I replied, stepping back into the house. I heard you perfectly. I closed the door. The lock slid in with a simple click. I didn't lean on it like a movie character. I set her spare keys on the entry table, checked the time, and texted Dan. Not coming in early tomorrow. Got things to handle. Morning came with silence I could use. I made coffee, opened Windows, and started a list. Separate accounts, done. Change online passwords, done. Cancel recurring couples events, done. She texted, can we talk? I wrote back. Pick up the rest of your things Sunday at 10. Text when you're on the way. I'll set them in the garage. I won't be there. She called. I didn't answer. She sent a long paragraph about stress, about me being distant first, about how words don't mean what they sound like when people are tired. I replied with times, Sunday, 10 to 12 window. After that, next Saturday the same. That's all. Jenna showed up around noon, bold like people are when they think they're rescuers. I was in the yard fixing the latch on the gate. She walked up the driveway, sunglasses on. Can we talk? She asked. We. I wiped my hands on a rag. No. If you're here to pick up her things, the garage is the door on the right. She's at my place, Jenna said. She's a mess. She'll live. You're being cold. I'm being consistent. You know what she meant. I know exactly what she said. I nodded at the garage. You can help her Sunday. Jenna chewed her lip. Everyone messes up. Everyone doesn't mock their partner on delivery. I turned back to the latch. Doors that way. She left with a head shake designed to hurt my pride. It didn't touch me. Doing the right thing is quiet, not loud. Sunday at 10, a different friend came, Maya, from her office. Not Jenna. Smart move. Maya didn't posture. She texted, here. I rolled up the garage, boxes labeled, suitcase lined up. No drama. She loaded the trunk. On the last box, my wife stepped out of the car like she couldn't help herself. You're not even going to look at me? She asked from the driveway. I already did, I said. You're throwing away a marriage because of a sentence. Because of a sentence that told the truth. She moved closer. I was angry. You know how I get. I do. That's why I'm done. Can we sit inside for 5 minutes? Just 5. No. The garage is as far as you go. Maya touched her elbow. Let's go. We're not done. My wife snapped, but it sounded weak. We are, I replied. If you need something, send a list. I'll make a bag. You'll pick it up during the window. That's the format now. You sound like a landlord. Better than sounding like a punching bag. She tried on softness again, dressing it up this time. I miss us. You miss control. Her face hardened. You'll be back. This house is too quiet for you. This house is perfect for me. Maya guided her to the car. I closed the garage and went back to the gate latch. Clip, turn, set. My life, my rules. That week, I changed the front lock cylinder. Not to lock anyone out, but because it was time to own my doors. I sent her the new code for the once-a-week pickup window. She didn't reply. Fine. I had work. At the shop, Dan handed me a sandwich and a question. You okay? I'm better than okay, I said. I'm accurate. He grinned. That's new. Feels good. Wednesday I got another message. My wife, or the person who used to be that. I'll swing by Thursday instead. I answered, windows are fixed. Sunday or Saturday only. She tried. You're ridiculous. I left it on read. Thursday night, I stopped by Mike's place to return the drill I borrowed months ago. He opened the door, saw me, and winced like he expected a punch. Man, about the other night. We're good, Mike. It wasn't your job to referee. Everybody's talking, he admitted. They always do. Let them talk about the part where I left quietly. He nodded. You want a beer? I'm driving. On cue, Tessa stepped in, honest eyes. We like you both, but we saw what we saw. Then you know I didn't raise my voice. You didn't, she said. You drew a line. Lines are simple, I replied. They aren't cruel. She bit her lip. We won't invite you both to the same thing unless you ask. Good, I said. That helps. That was another public boundary, done without fireworks. If people wanted to deal with us, they'd do it on fair ground. Saturday, she tried her second soft move. 10 minutes before the window closed, a text. I brought breakfast. Let's eat and talk. I answered, leave it by the porch. Take your boxes. I watched from the upstairs office as she set down a bag like a bribe and looked up at the windows. No show. She carried the boxes to her car, sat for a minute like she was waiting for a director to yell cut, then drove off. The bag had pastries I didn't open. I left it by the trash. Ants did their work. Jenna sent a message that night. She's hurting. You win. I typed. I left a bad game. That's not winning. It's choosing. Deleted the last sentence. Sent the first. The following week, I told the HOA I'd be handling yard work solo and to remove her from club emails. Change of household, I said. Nobody needed my poems. Just facts. She showed up one more time against the schedule, midweek, pounding the door like she paid the mortgage. I opened, stepped onto the porch, and pulled the door behind me until it clicked. You ignore me. You block me. You send me windows like I'm a contractor, she started. Because these are the terms, I answered. Let me in. No. I live here. You used to. She squared her shoulders. You don't get to decide that. I just did. And I'm not discussing it on the porch. You can email me a list of remaining items. I'll pack them. You'll pick them up during the window. You loved me. I respected you. You dropped that ball. She stepped closer, lowered her voice to something meant to be tender. I miss your hands, she tried. Then you should have thought of them before you said they weren't needed. She cracked, just a little, the edges showing. Are you really going to be this stubborn? Call it consistent. What do you even want? Quiet. Work. Friends who don't watch me get mocked. A woman who doesn't see me as optional. That's a fantasy. No, I said. It's a filter. She tried to look amused. Good luck finding someone who puts up with your little rules. I don't need someone to put up with them. I need someone who lives by their own and respects mine. She shook her head, a last ditch. You'll get lonely. I know the difference between lonely and peaceful. Do you? She had nothing. She turned, walked to her car, and left without collecting the bag I'd packed. I set it inside for Sunday. She can be late to me all she wants. I'm done waiting. The last scene, if you want to call it that, happened at a barbecue a month later at the shop. We'd finished a big project. The guys brought their families. I grilled, handed out paper plates, kept the music light. People laughed. There was no sob story in me. Halfway through, she appeared at the edge of the lot, sunglasses on, like a guest who forgot she wasn't invited. Jenna drove. They stood there a beat, calculating. Dan saw them, looked at me. You want me to handle that? He asked. No, I said. I'll handle it. I walked to the curb. They tried on charm. Congrats on the project, Jenna said. Thanks. My wife took off her sunglasses. I figured we could say a proper goodbye. Adults. You already got one, I told her. At the door. She looked at the grill smoke, the laughter. You moved on fast. I moved on right. You really think you're winning? Stop asking if I won, I replied. Ask if I kept my self-respect. She crossed her arms. Can we talk alone? No. I glanced at the group behind me. I'm at work. My people are here. Your presence isn't welcome. Jenna scoffed. You're not a saint, you know. Never claimed to be. I'm a guy who sets hours. My wife tried one last pivot, soft, the third costume. I've been going to counseling. I'm learning. I can show you. I can be different. I hope you do that, I said. For the next person. So that's it. That's it. She looked past me into the life that didn't include her. For once, no performative smirk. Just the weight of a door she couldn't push. Dan stepped up beside me, not looming, just present. Not a threat, just a reminder that I wasn't a one-man island. You should go, I told her. My event. My rules. She swallowed hard and nodded once. Okay. She turned. Jenna frowned like she'd lost a bet. They left. I walked back to the grill, flipped the meat, handed a plate to Mike's kid, and laughed at one of Dan's bad jokes. That was the point of no return. Not because I made it loud, but because I made it final. 6 months later, I stayed in the house. It's quiet in the good way. I redid the garage into a clean workspace, bought a used SUV I'd been eyeing, nothing flashy, just reliable. The shop landed a new client because we deliver on time and don't make excuses. Weekends, I fish with my brother or take a drive out past the lake. There's a woman I see now and then, smart, grounded, asks direct questions, laughs with her whole face. We take it slow. No games. She texts when she's late without me asking. My ex called twice in the months after and left messages about catching up, finding closure, maybe coffee. I ignored both. Closure isn't a coffee. It's a decision you enforce. She tried once through a friend to ask if we could reset. I didn't reply. People say she moved to a smaller place across town. The car she loved went back to the lot. Her circle shrank. That's not my business. That's just gravity. You live on attention, you run out of it. Me? I wake up early because I like my mornings. I cook what I eat and eat what I cook. The lock clicks the way I said it. The calendar's clean. Respect isn't complicated when you prize it over noise. And if somebody ever brushes off my hand with a line like that again, I won't need a second sentence. I'll do what I did. Open the door, point to the ride, and keep my house exactly how I like it. Quiet, steady mine.